Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney 2. Let's carry on where we left off. We're here investigating the crime scene now that we've finally gotten access to the contraption responsible for teleporting Mr. Odie Asmund into the Crystal Tower. Of course, we debunked that hypothesis to the chagrin of poor Professor Hairbrain, but it was necessary to declare the man innocent. God damn it, I swear he was working against me for a moment there. Well, we're here to kill some time as well while we wait for Lord Strongheart's friend to return to the laboratory of sorts, I guess. She's working with the forensic investigation team, the FIT, if you will. But for now, Susato's gone on up ahead towards, I suppose, the experimentation stage. She should very much like to see Professor Hairbrain's invention for herself. That's what she says down below. Let's go ahead and pay it a visit, shall we? Well, there isn't much left, but it has been preserved. 23rd October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, experimentation stage. Look at that thing.
Oh my. So this is the machine. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place.
Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment, but hey, it fooled Van Zeeks. He was adamant that it was entirely possible to transport someone across time and space.
What extraordinary lengths Professor Hairbrain went to in order to obtain the research grant.
No, the professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it.
Yes, of course. It is amazing though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British.
What does that mean? The scale of it is so very British? You're right about that. You'd never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure.
Oh look, is that...
Oh. Lord Van Zeeks, you can't just materialize out of nowhere, my goodness.
Lord Van Zeeks.
It made it look like I wasn't paying attention. I only just realized he was standing there. No, that's just his ghost. So I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Miss Susato? Let's head down the stairs as quick as possible. I'm sure you got a lot of catching up to do with Inspector Lestrade.
Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We'd do well to keep our distance, I think, even if I'm not on trial.
I've already been on trial twice. Well, technically once.
But we have permission to be here. From the top. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine. As long as we don't touch anything.
From the top? Do you mean Lord Strongheart?
Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like.
She could have been at the center of the explosion here and it wouldn't have bent her steel will. Right, well, do we pay attention to Van Zeeks here? I don't know. Van Zeeks, old buddy, old pal, did you instantaneous kinesis your way here? I swear you weren't there before. And where's your assistant? Is he gonna beam up here as well? Ugh. Least approachable man in the world winner. 10 years in a row.
Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistant stand firm behind you.
Oh, thanks, Susato. You're the more friendly one. Lord Van Zeeks, can you prepare to Susato take him down if he tries anything funny? What? Well, you know, remember how we hung out in your office? Just pretend we're hanging out again, except we're here at the crime scene. Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? Quite, you know, a little smoggy, thanks to the broken machine behind you, but, I mean, that's the only flaw I see. I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently, you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Yeah, I have trouble reading the room a lot, but this isn't exactly a room. This is a stage. Oh, I read them. But I'm being forced to confront them anyway. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. The thing is, you know, it's important for my case.
And Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate. On the condition that we didn't disturb anything.
And yet you've managed to disturb me. I knew he was going to say something like that. Technicalities. Never mind. State your business, then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zeeks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. You know, I'm sure he's in a cheery mood he's willing to share, despite the fact that he's literally face-palming right now.
Ask away, Mr. Naruhodo. Ask him about his brother's death. You won't know unless you try.
Thanks for the encouragement, Susato. Your brother Clint. So, Clint Van Zeeks, the old KVZ. Was the name of your older brother, I understand, Lord Van Zeeks. You Nipponese. I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So, you've been investigating me, have you? Oh, no, it's nothing like that. I stumbled upon the name, Clint, you know, just thought I'd throw it out there. It just happens to be your brother's name. Well, alright, it is a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zeeks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? There's a lot of dots coming out of Van Zeek's mouth. Is something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry? There's more to it then? Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? You're too kind. You're gonna tar old Nipponese with the same brush next? So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? It's ancient history at this point.
As it happens, Lord Van Zeeks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. Are you aware of the Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork by any chance?
I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I feature in one of the displays there, for public scorn. Of course, the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he?
Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place, and held for ransom.
A particular waxwork? Wait, you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. That old buffoon, I was unaware of that. He's turned as white as a sheet, and he was already ghostly in appearance. Not ghastly, guy's rather handsome. Enoch Drebber. Let's go on a tangent here. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on, aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. He doesn't have to be your master assistant, is he? Like, are you covering for him or something?
Which, according to Professor Hairbrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has a straight white hair and wears a black monocle.
So, I was just wondering, I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but is there any relation to Shelley the Killer?
We'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us.
Wow. Susato-san, read the room, man. Okay? I've already let us down as a Nipponese because I failed to see the signs, and now here you are, knocking the signs over. Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. She's even got her fists ready. Fine, why not? Oh, that easy. Oh my god, look at him. Damn, he screams evil. I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. I see. What? What? I'm allowed to be silent for a change, you know? You're the one that's constantly hemming and hawing with your dots and ellipses. Oh. No. Nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow. It's not like I'm gonna put a bag over his head so you never see what he looks like. Which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? I don't know. I thought you don't like me. What is it about Lord Van Zeeks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. What? See? Now you've gone quiet again. The photograph of Drebber has been entered into the court record, a photographic print of the engineer Mr. Enoch Drebber. It's hard to make out, but he appears to be wearing a monocle with a black glass. Mysterious person of interest. Oh, there you are. You're not Enoch Drebber, are you? Or are you the mysterious walking and talking, well, actually not even talking, corpse of Kazuma that was never recovered from the SS Buria, huh? I swear, like, imagine if it's just a red herring and it's just like, actually, they found Kazuma, he got tossed overboard, someone picked him up later on, and this guy is just someone random, and that I have no idea who it is. Ah, the file I requested for the trial tomorrow. Thank you. You okay there, Susato? Are you alright?
Who's this man, Mr. Naruhodo?
Your guess is as good as mine. Lord Van Zeek's apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato-san can see it too. Wait, is it? I don't know. Is it too obvious? I can't, you know, I don't like guessing. You know I don't like guessing, guys.
Lord Van Zeeks? May we speak with your apprentice for a moment?
With him? Why? Apprentice says nothing. Just like you, Van Zeeks. You've taught him well. Okay. Kazuma-sama! What? Oh, are we testing it? Are we testing him out? He turned around. Kazuma? Huh? I don't believe it.
Your posture, your presence, it can only be... It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama?
Is it? I felt something strange the very first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow.
Can it really be you, Kazuma?
The fuck? How? Did you survive? What is it? Like... Wait, let's play it out. Wait! Too late. What, did he jump off the bloody stage? What's going on here? What's going on? Your apprentice? Hello? What's his name? What is your interest in my apprentice, exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, I don't know. He's got a mask on, doesn't he? I just know from his posture and his vibes.
Since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago.
Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now. What the hell? 3 months ago? Where's he been all this time? In Shanghai or something? With instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? And what, does he never take his mask off, even to shower? Or, I mean, do you even have showers back in this time period? To bath? To sleep? Does he just wear it as a sleep mask? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. Of course he has. Why not?
He has amnesia.
Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side. Really? Huh. What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant, on Lord Strongheart's orders. That's right, I can have a minion too.
You'll be in court with us?
Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Oh. Yes. Thank you. Toodaloo. Lord Van Zeeks. I definitely saw a reaction there. Oh, Susato. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. The way she looked at him, like, oh man. Just staring, like, part disbelief, part, like, accusatory. You know, it's like, Kazuma-sama, is that fucking you? Just hiding in plain sight right in front of me? How dare you? And, oh my god, you're still alive, you know? Well, we're off. Actually, no, we're not off. We're examining stuff here. Look at this. Ooh, look at this contraption.
What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast.
And what they call the bird cage was right in the middle of it all, just here.
But look, Mr. Naruhodo, that metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's designed to open.
It does, doesn't it? A trap door. Ah, it's like the Prestige. If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight.
I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there?
Oh yeah, all smoke and mirrors. Mainly just smoke now. Over here? This wasn't here yesterday.
Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air.
That's right. The birdcage. According to what Professor Hairbrain said in court, it's made of wood.
Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been in an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh yes, a good advertisement for Japanese cypress. I understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. Well, they just fucking dump it back here. Hey, we're done with it. Just toss it back in the crime scene. Doesn't matter where. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they finished with their work.
But sadly, not with the body inside it.
Oh yeah, sad. Yeah, they should have dumped the corpse here too, alongside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. The birdcage from the machine has been entered into the court record. The wooden cage that was used for Professor Hairbrain's experiment. This cage with the victim inside crashed down into the crystal tower. Alright, looks like we're done here. Back it up.
You'd already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes. Yesterday, in fact. At Lord Van Zeek's office.
I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive, it means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us.
That's true, I know. We're going to need to speak to him about that. Oh, God, Van Zeeks. You're going to have to leave now. What? The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. What, are they dumping more evidence back here? If they find you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? Foreign affairs problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mr. Sato.
Of course.
Alright, well, shit. Didn't learn much about Clint or the professor, but we got a photo of good old Enoch Drebber and the birdcage in our court record. I suppose you got anything new to say? Oh, you do? Okay, lucky I bloody checked. Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again.
Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like.
Oh, that's alright, is it?
I'm going to be playing with my new friend here.
Yes. Toby. Oh, God. I'm surprised your neck didn't fall off. Apparently we can't look around on the stage now because the forensic investigation team are at work. Can't you do anything, Gina? In your capacity as Inspector Lestrade?
Look, I'd like to help you out. But I'm just a trainee, ain't I? Ain't nothing I can do.
When it suits you, yes. Alright, well, I guess we're not allowed back there. Are we on the move? Are you sure we've asked everything we need to, Mr. Naruhodo? I guess not. Maybe let's present something. Let's present a picture of Drebber. In fact, let's look at it. There's the man. Anything interesting in the background? We got golds something. We got a man with a bowler hat. No, nothing too interesting apart from that lapel. Or badge, sorry, on his lapel. Alright, well, and the wooden birdcage, can we examine it? We can. Let's take a look. Yep, definitely no body in here. Ooh, what's down here?
Look here, Mr. Susato. Oh yes, the wood's cracked and broken a little. I suppose it's because it fell from such a height?
Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying down into the crystal tower below. Fall of about 30 feet. Or 9 meters.
Leaving the man inside tragically dead.
The details of the wooden birdcage have been updated in the court record. Crashed down with the victim inside into the crystal tower, causing damage to its base. Okay. Don't think there's anything else to look at. No, just some damage here, but that's nothing new apparently. Okay. Let's back out of that and present it. Gina, would you take a look at... Oh, where'd it go? You stole the birdcage from me?
Looking for this, Odo?
When did you do that? Jesus, how big's your pockets?
I wonder if you've got anything else to show me, eh? What do you reckon?
Give that back first, please. I mean, I don't know how I put it in my own pocket. Photograph. Nope, nothing. Maybe we need to examine this area right here. Let's go for it. Anything new? There's the crystal tower itself. Can we go in?
Ah, the crystal tower. I can't believe I'm seeing it at such close proximity with my own eyes.
You've really been looking forward to the great exhibition, haven't you, Miss Susato?
Oh yes. When I found out that I had to return to Japan, I'm afraid I cursed my luck.
Here you are, back in London, gazing up at the magnificent tower.
I know. Perhaps I was wrong to curse my luck so harshly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful you're here. Let's make sure you didn't squander all your good luck by cursing it. Closer look.
What a shame that the symbolic landmark of the great exhibition has been damaged like that.
Yes, unfortunately the birdcage crashed in the most prominent position possible. It's the gods giving us a warning, if you ask me. Man must travel under his own steam and not cut corners with instantaneous kinesis.
But imagine what might have happened if the birdcage had landed in a slightly different location.
Was there a reason why it had to land there specifically?
The death hole could have been far worse. So I think perhaps it was a blessing in disguise.
Well, the gods are benevolent, obviously. I did say it was just a warning. Man must travel under his own steam, or next time bird cages will rain down on all of you.
Your faith is much stronger than I realized.
Well, how do you think I passed the entrance exam for Yume University? Wasn't my studying alone. How do you think I defended myself in court? How do you think I defended myself on the SS Burya, okay? It's because I'm a godly man. Okay. Anything else to look at? I mean, we're missing something.
Oh, look, a flying balloon. I've never seen one in the flesh before.
I don't think the balloon is made of flesh. Can't understand how they can fly. And so high up as well.
But think of the view, Mr. Naruhodo. You must be able to see for miles and miles.
I didn't think of it, and it terrifies me. I mean, it would be certain death if you fell out.
I'm sure they're perfectly safe. After all, they've been invented by some of the brightest minds in the world.
Let's not forget that we know at least one has exploded.
I'm sure there are other ways to fly.
Yeah, not for a while yet, though. Before it's commercially available. Let's also just keep away from Zeppelins, shall we? Particularly during this period. The stage up there is where the experiment was set up. It's very high, isn't it?
About 30 feet, I believe. Or 9 meters, if you prefer.
Oh. Huh. Same height.
Craning your neck to see up to it starts to hurt after a while, doesn't it?
Yes, we need to get up there and look around properly. Although, if I'm honest, climbing all those stairs makes my chest hurt.
Oh dear. I think perhaps you should exercise more, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry, I'm a desk-bound man, okay? I'm practicing law. Bloody hell, what do you think? We'd better not try going up those stairs to the stage area now. If we were to bump into the forensic investigation team, it sounds like it could make trouble. Okay, that's examined. That's... okay, let's take another look at this green fabric here.
Here's the scorching on the ground that you mentioned.
Yes, and there's what's left of the green balloon's envelope. All clear evidence of the balloon that exploded that day of the incident.
Poor Professor Hairbrain. I do feel sorry for him that his dreams have been shattered like this.
Someone's well and truly burst his bubble, as it were. I can imagine Ryunosuke doing finger guns right now. Please don't take me down for that, please, please. Ouch. I'm a bad person. Okay, I think I've done everything, but Sato's saying no. Sato's still saying no. What am I missing? Maybe it's something I gotta present to Gina. But what? This, maybe? Gina, ever look at this photograph? Every time I do, it makes me laugh.
It's amazing looking down on everything from up there. I love high places, me.
Really? If I'm honest, I can't stand looking down at the ground when I'm high up. I always have to look up.
Shame. I wanted to show you what it's like. But there ain't no point now.
Why not?
If all you're gonna do is look up at the sky, I ain't gonna be able to look down on you. With you, sorry. I mean, I don't look down on you for nothing. If you don't want to do it, it's your choice.
I don't think I'd ever go up in a balloon, to be honest. Not my whole life. Now I'm starting to think I might like to. Cool dialogues, nothing new.
There are a bunch of reporters at the trial today, eh? One of them got a sketch of me in the witness stand.
Really?
Yeah, I look pretty good, right? And that testimony of mine was spot on.
I'm not sure that spot on is quite the right description.
And look, it was the special edition and all. I bought a copy. And that's a lovely picture of you, Gina.
But I thought you couldn't read.
What do you take me for? I'm cramming every day.
I see.
I started at A. I've already got all the way to E. Could be a long journey for you.
Just saying. But hey, good on you for trying to up your literacy. I thought we'd get something new from that one. She had a newspaper or something with her, right? Okay, well maybe we need to just come back here at a later point. For now, go back to the forensics laboratory, perhaps? Just trying to look at the information below. Let's go to the prison. Visit Professor Hairbrain, see what he's got to say for us. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. 23rd October, local prison. Cell 11. What's he doing?
Oh my. The whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations.
And he's still writing more now. Professor! Sorry to interrupt. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. And who is this young lady?
My name is Susato Mikatoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner! None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all.
Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you.
Please don't take it out on my assistant. She does good work for me, okay? And by extension, she's gonna defend you. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Plus, I also made fun of you back at the Great Exhibition just like an hour ago. Oh no, the whole thing, the whole miserable affair, it all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot!
Professor Hairbrain, what have you been working on in your cell?
You mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. Oh, you caught me. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? A weapon to surpass Metal Gear? No, actually, this is my autobiography. I see, it's written in equations.
Your autobiography?
How I Was Diddled and Fiddled by Albert Hairbrain. Oh god, maybe submit that to the police first. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers and an ambitious set of simultaneous equations.
Really?
I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see. So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month. Part 1, an odd birth, an odd upbringing. Can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. Maybe I need to start writing an autobiography so I can get some money to survive current inflation. percentages. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh, yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was diddled. I was fiddled by the pair of them. By Asmund and by that aloof engineer Drebber. We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? I don't want to hear about how you got diddled and fiddled, okay? My innocent ears. But we shall converse. This morning's trial. Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Asmund, the kinesis machine. My hypothesis, even. I'm sorry it's come to this. Was there really no other way? No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there was nothing worth protecting. No, it was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. Of course not. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning, I realized something. Oh? If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me.
Oh, Professor.
He believed in me this morning, you know. Barak did. He believed in my hypothesis. Yeah, because it helped his case. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No, Barak wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? Huh. I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. Why is that? He wants you dead. Van Zeek's motivation. After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. Fatality. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Barak, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense.
And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor.
Exactly! Which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Barak insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish.
You think that's why he...
I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul.
But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? And he really hates us too.
Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. What about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea? I guess we'll never know. Mr. Asmund.
Do you think he set out to trick me from the very beginning?
I'm sorry to say, that does seem likely, yes. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so emphatic, sorry. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems.
I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. It probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually.
The scale of it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. Why? All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work to try and earn a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all of that, only to be taken for a complete fool. It's too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asmund is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Sorry, Ryunosuke, I didn't realize you were still talking.
Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Well, we gotta find Drebber the engineer. Is he an engineer, or a magician, or a swindler? It was about a year ago when Mr. Asmund first brought Drebber to meet me in my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see. Interesting. Maybe I should stop him. In the forensics lab that Sholmes is hoping to set up.
But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts?
I'm sorry. We only ever discussed the kinesis machine. Nothing else. Although, just once, I did visit his workshop. What workshop? Trevor's enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine. Really? Where do we find this laboratory? What? Why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop? There's every chance we might find the man there, Jesus Christ! Drebber's workshop, where is it? Spill! So you've been to Drebber's place of work then? Yes, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place, plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see. Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance that we'll find Drebber there. Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure. As in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry! I was more than half expecting that, so, you know, I only need half of your apology. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. He blindfolded you? Wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible! The pinnacle of modern engineering! Even the oil he used was the very best. A special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Ah, the indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their secret formulae and use that instead. What do you think, Mr. Sato? Own a machine for your next birthday?
I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm not sure I'd like to start with that.
You don't wear perfume, Susato? My goodness. But aren't you going to be all stinky from our trips around London?
I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card from Mr. Drebber, for example?
The man was clearly cautious, Mr. Susato. I'm sorry. Ah! Yes, I do. He gave me his business card once. It's right here, look.
What? Let me see that.
Oh my god, I thought she was going to take him down. Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you?
Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address.
Well, no, it's just his business card. No. Oh, well, I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Drebber's card has been entered in the court record. Mr. Enoch Drebber's business card, though it only shows the man's name. Well, well. Suppose we should take a look at it. There's no address. Can't find anything out of place that matches the badge that was on his lapel. Anything of note here? Some dirt. This dark smudge here.
I think perhaps it's machine oil.
Yes, possibly. Professor Harebrine mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebber uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported, very high-quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain.
Yes, that's right. But more importantly, that it's more fragrant than the finest perfume. So, excuse me a moment. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all.
Don't worry, I expect that's just because there's such a tiny amount on there. There's a smear of machine oil on the reverse. Okay. Maybe one of the mechanics planted it there. And the plot thickens.